Hello everybody, I'm back in the woods here for a quick video. I had a video planned today that got canceled. It was an interview. So I'm going to do this in its place. So that was a good time to kind of catch up a little bit. And I'm here with good old Bogie. There's Bogie. And he's chomping at the bit to get back here. Last time I was here with you, I did a video on, it was the passing of Brian Wilson and Sly Stone. And it was all green and lush here at the time, and I think about my favorite time to be here is now. And that was the last time I was here, so I'm glad to get back here and breathe in some good autumn air, fresh, clean air, and just bring you up to speed with stuff. I just finished a lengthy series on the monkeys, so thank you for all of those of you who watched it. It was I enjoy doing that one, and every time I do a band history, I always learn something because I'm digging deep and trying to make sense out of the story, and oftentimes I learn quite a bit as well. So that one I certainly did. So thank you for watching, and there's more to come, of course. And I'm just gonna take a little break here the next week or so because it was when I have the multi-part videos, the histories that take more than one part to tell, it takes a little bit out of me. There's a lot more, I guess, loose ends to tie up and understand the whole history and how it relates to everything else going on. And so yeah, I wanted to take a little break anyway this month because it's already a year since I lost my wife. I can't believe it. This past week marked a year. It was the fastest year of my life. And one of the things I did over the past year was I had extra time on my hands, so I put it into this channel. And that was a good thing because I needed to do something and keep active and keep producing, and it made me feel good to come out with these band histories and different things. And so that's something that was kind of a blessing for me in a difficult time. So I think I probably had more videos in 2025 than I had before. And I'm making plans for this channel for 2026. And the way I make plans is generally I work on a kind of a schedule, so there's a lot of pre-planning to get these videos done, particularly the band histories. And then I sprinkle in some Beatles stuff here and there, and I guess my channel's I think it's about 45% Beatle content anyway. So as of right now, I haven't done a Beatle topic in a little while. But there's plenty to always come back to, aren't there? Got a couple planned for, the next couple months, I guess. I have also gotten requests to do some live chats, which I haven't really done. I've only done one. And I don't like doing them that much. Well, I've only done one, so maybe I'm just not that good at doing them. Maybe getting better is something that I could do. So that was a request from some people. So I would like to do more of that. I like to, it's just, instead of something like this, which I kind of give you an update, some people can ask me themselves. Yeah, what's that, Bogie? Come on. Yeah, there he is. Where are you going, Bogie? You're pulling me. Yeah, he's excited to be here. He doesn't get out here very often, and I let him pull me a little bit in hope that he gets tired out. But he still has a lot of energy. So anyway, yeah, so 2026, I think I would like to probably instill a few more live chats so that I can converse more with the audience, with you guys. And, the band histories are going to keep coming, and the schedule is, I try to schedule them and kind of have a feel for, and I kind of change it up a bit. I try not to do like all San Francisco bands one after another, but sometimes I do related bands. And if I put stuff on the schedule 6 months out, that allows me to start kind of preparing for it, because I'm usually working on a few band histories simultaneously in different stages of completion and different stages of research, I guess. So, got some good ones coming up. Maybe a surprise or two. I'm not going to divulge that right now, in case I don't get to it. Sometimes these things get pushed back. I came across, I had a post-it of this was before I started this channel, and I had the first 6 bands I wanted to do, and I think I've only done 5 of them, and it took me years to do a couple of them, but I don't know, they just kind of come out when they come out, I guess. And sometimes I just have to, it's always intimidating to do the big ones, like the Monkeys. That's a big one, so it's like, it takes a lot more brain power, and sometimes I'm not quite ready to do it, So, but I assure you, plenty of good stuff coming next year. And I've got some Beatles stuff too that I would like to do. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get to all of it. The Beatles stuff, for example, I've got, there's a couple albums that never wore I wouldn't mind doing that are a little different than what I've done in the past. And let's see, let's go this way back. And what else? Well, the Beatles stuff, one thing I've been doing, I've got a series going of just album reviews, something I didn't think I would do initially when I started this channel, because, there's so many Beatle album reviews out there now. But the first one I did was introducing the Beatles, because there wasn't a lot of reviews on just that album. And I thought that was that album is very close to me, so I thought, well, I'm going to do that. And what Beatle album isn't close to me? Well, I guess I do them all. So I left off in late '64, and I guess I'm going to probably continue to do them chronologically. So we're going to be entering '65 soon, and that should be fun too. That's all still the kind of Beatlemania era. We're getting away from the black and white Beatles, getting a little color. And come on, Bogues. So plenty of Beatles stuff. Yeah, I don't really. I don't watch a lot of other channels of people kind of give me requests. Oh, check out this channel or that channel. I wish I had the time to do that. I really don't. I'm generally working on my own videos, and I prefer to not be influenced by other people's opinions, so I can kind of give something more fresh, which seems to work. Most of my time is just spending in the research and the writing, gathering of the photos and that type of thing. So, hold on, Bob. Let me just redo this here. My hand is getting tired. So you can see, the color, we're losing our color here. And I'm probably, oh, there's a deer. Where's that deer? There it is there. Oh, it's a buck. If you can see it. Bogie sees it. Shall we? Oh, man. I've never seen a buck out here before. Let's see if we can get a shot at it. Hey folks, we're back. We tried following that buck, but no luck. The leaves are, when we're walking, so loud, it would know we were coming from half a mile away. I've never seen a buck in the woods here before, and it kind of had its winter coat on. I doubt that you were able to see it. I'll have to look, and when I edit, we got Bogie, come on. Lots of fallen trees here. Bogie goes under them, I go over them in most cases. So I forgot where I was. I think we were talking Beatles, weren't we? So one of the things that was in the news a couple months back, and I commented on, I can't quite remember what I talked about, but it had to do with I guess, Beatles releases and how the Beatles have seemed, with the people they've hired to run Apple, have not really done a good job in giving the fans what they want. And and it's not easy. I'm not suggesting it would be easy, but they seem to not know what they're doing in many cases and seem to just be flailing, trying to make something for everyone, which I don't think is possible. Because you've got diehard fans, you've got casual fans, and you've got people who never heard of the Beatles, and probably a couple others in between there. Come on, this way. So they hired a new CEO, and my prediction, I don't like to make predictions on this kind of thing, but I'm going to make one. I think that the CEO, I think they're going to release Rubber Soul in 2026. And the reason I think that is because if I'm the new CEO coming in, I want to be loved. I want success. And I think there's not going to be anybody that will disagree with releasing Rubber Soul. Now, I think there's some smoke and mirrors going on here with the sales numbers. Since we are not shown any sales numbers, that tells me that all these box sets are selling well under what Apple would want. So they're trying to sell stuff. I mean, can you believe they came out with that? The Red and the Blue album a couple years ago, they shoved the new song Now and Then on there. They enlarged it. When we are on the eve of the Anthology 4 coming out, which any idiot can tell you that Now and Then would have belonged on there. I mean, is there anything that would make more sense than what the Beatles could release around now other than that? No. So anyway, they made a mess of some of these things. They made a hash of a lot of it. And just having this Anthology 4 being released separately, so you don't have to buy the 3 volumes that all of us already have, that seemed to be a response from the new CEO. That's a good thing. I think he would release Rubber Soul. I think it would give him good reviews across the board from fans, which any new CEO would want. As far as sales, I don't know how to increase the footprint amongst young people where Beatles are concerned. I mean, the last really big thing they did along those lines was Rock Band. And that was like 20 years ago. And that actually I thought was good. That worked. Because my kids got into that a bit. That's one of the ways they got into the Beatles. I don't know if there's any opportunities like that. They seem to be putting a lot of effort into these 4 biopics. I'm very skeptical about how they're going to pull these off, since they try to continually have something for everyone. I don't like biopics, so I'm kind of not really excited about that. But you never know. We'll see. We'll see. So the Beatles have an interesting 2026 coming as well. And come here. We're getting a little trucker, so we got the creek down over here. I don't want to fall in. So yeah, 2026 should be an interesting year for the Beatles. Kind of a make or break year, I would think, because there's not a ton more to release, I don't think. We've talked about a lot of the things that could be released on this channel. I won't go into those again. Come on, let's go this way. I won't go into those again because they've been done many times. I've done surveys on it, and all of you have voiced an opinion on that. And none of those things, by the way, seem to be geared toward young fans. I don't know how you do it, but just get the music out there. Allow the music to be used in movies and I suppose in commercials. I know it's not very Beatle-like to do that, but I mean, they got to make money. That's what the corporation is for. And it'll be interesting to see how the kids of the Beatles run this, because, and I don't know. I mean, that's almost the 3rd generation. So if the Beatles in real time was generation 1, the Beatles themselves running the modern version of Apple, generation 2, and then we have what would be generation 3, the kids running it. That's when it all goes to hell. You can look at all the statistics. When the grandkids take over the family business, that's when it's a dumpster fire. And at this point, maybe it won't be that because there's not much to ruin, really. Well, I suppose you could ruin it. I mean, that's ultimately what I've always focused on, is how to curate their legacy. And I thought that they've been not doing it that well. And to curate the legacy properly isn't really going to generate big sales. And I think that's their problem. They're trying to make millions. And I guess I can't blame them, but well, I guess I can. We got dogs coming up here. Let me pause this for a moment. We had some dogs there coming by, and Bogie likes to say hello. And I can't hold this camera very steady when he does that. So anyway, probably a good time to break. Beautiful day here. I'm gonna enjoy the day as autumn turns to winter here in Wisconsin. And boy, it smells great out here. So if you are able to get out today and smell those autumn leaves, do so. And I'll be back here on Pop Goes the 60s very soon with another video. Thanks for watching.